Hi everyone, my name is Jake. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I do weekly tarot readings on current events. And if you would like to help me out, help out everybody that you find is helpful to grow this community. There's many other readers out there too, so I'm happy you came by, and continue to stop by hitting that like, subscribe, and comment with any questions that you may want me to read on in the future in regards to current events. So one big topic that's happening today, I'm filming this on Thursday, July 30th. I've been predicting for a while about Todd Blanche's nomination not even going through committee, not passing committee, and there's two Republicans is a no vote, so it's not going to get through, and they're very adamant it's about the EPS. Or excuse me, it's not about the EPS. It's about the 1776 fund in regards to having it in writing, that IRS fund account. So to have it in writing to guarantee that it's not going to be used, because he's only verbalizing it. There we go. You give my. Oh goodness. Hopefully this is not a sign of how this video is going to go, so I apologize ahead of time. So, what the orange one has said, I almost said the T word, and YouTube doesn't like that. The orange one has said that he's probably going to pull his nomination until January. That's when Senator Tillis and Cornyn, who both are not up for re-election. Tillis decided not to run. Cornyn got primaried out by the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. So let's take a look to see if Todd Blanche's nomination will be pulled by the orange one. So Spirit, will this nomination be pulled by the orange one? And then we'll do follow-up questions based on it. Now, this is something that I predicted for a while back, and a lot of people were like, yeah, right, but things are changing. I've said this for a while, that the Republicans are going to be selective on the battles they will fight back about. So, and this is one of them. So, will make the orange one pull Blanche's nomination? Okay, so the Fool card. This is usually it can mean for new beginnings, but I don't think so in this case. I think the orange one's not impressed by the nomination hearings, and even the interviews with the judiciary committee members, or the lack of there, that he's being foolish. And here's the Five of Swords. There's a lot of past resentments by a lot of senators, particularly Cornyn and I think Tillis, about how they're treated, and that's why they're picking this battle. So this is what's happening. So they're trying to find a new opportunity with the Ace of Wands in regards to this. King of Cups is in the past. There's somebody here who was trying to push for it to get this nomination through, and I wonder if this is through. And I don't think it worked, because with somebody was trying to convince these two senators, and there's no way of moving forward. They don't know how to move forward if these two senators aren't wanting to move. And I don't think, to be honest, they want to put this in writing, even though he's verbalized this. So it's going to be a lot of hard work with the Ten of Wands. They're looking for other opportunities to kind of make a breakthrough with this, with the Seven of Cups. So the Nine of Pentacles are in here. We're talking about the funds, the IRS fund that they're just not happy about. There's going to be an announcement, so I think this is going to happen. And this is going to create a lot of worry with the Knight of Swords. And I just think that it's just not going to happen. I think there's going to be possibly, well, it's not even possible. There's already legal stuff going on in regards to the F-Files with Todd Blanche. So I'm saying that it's not going to happen. There's going to be somebody else they're going to bring forward. There's going to be an inevitable change. And here's the ladies from the victims with the Three of Cups of the F stuff. So I'm thinking that they're going to have to. I think there's going to be stuff with the Fs. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to have to pull. This may answer the next question, the follow-up question that I have is, will the orange one renominate Blanche? So the answer to the first question is that he will pull the nomination. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that. I don't think so. There's just too many fires being that they have to put out with Blanche. And he could be indefinitely acting attorney general right now. I just think it's just not going to work. Okay, so will the orange one renominate Blanche in January? Now, there's a risk in this because there is good indication that the Democrats will flip the Senate now. It's in play. It's not as strong as the House, but there is a possibility. There's 2 cards that dropped out. Oops. Yeah, the White House is going to be walking away from this. And I'm wondering, too, this could be that there might be a change in the White House, too, coming up. But we'll see. One can only hope, right? Okay, here's another jumper coming out. Yeah, there's going to be something, some hidden things coming out with that. All right, let's see. All right, 10 of Wands. It's going to be a lot of hard work to do this, okay? We have the Empress card on its side. There's just some kind of block in regards to wanting Blanche. The Lovers card is in here. I think that there are Republicans that are going to side with the Democrats. This is a karmatic term with the Wheel of Fortune in the past. The Queen of Wands is right here crowning this reading. There are individuals on the Republicans that are determined to kill this nomination. And they're going to start convincing people after the midterms, especially when this about midterms, people are going to be more disciplined about things and more focused on financial things, to be honest, after the midterms. And they really do not want to play these games about Blanche. Here's the Five of Cups on the outside looking in. I think definitely individuals in the White House are going to be disappointed about how the Senate's going. Overseas, more focus on the things going on overseas, international affairs with the Three of Cups. And here's the Ten of Pentacles. I think there's just going to be Two of Pentacles in action. And there's the Betrayal. I just think, and here's the Fool card, I just think that it's not going to happen. There's something else going to be going on that, like I said, there's probably a change going on in the White House that I'm seeing. And there's just, it might even be talking about what I've said before, information about monies, international monies, and people in the administration, including entertainment purposes only, with all of this, that the orange one may be involved with too. Okay, so let's see if there will be a different person being nominated. Spirit, somebody else, not Blanche. Will there be a different person nominated before the end of the year? Because that is a possibility. Remember, he was the even though he's acting Attorney General, technically his title is assistant or deputy Attorney General, and he was that under Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General that got the boot, and he was really doing a lot of the work, when, especially with Maxwell. He was involved with that transfer, and he was doing a lot of behind the scenes work. So I wouldn't put it past them that they'll just nominate somebody else as the figurehead and still have Blanche in the same role he has been in. So will there be somebody else that gets nominated for Attorney General before the end of the year? Yeah. The Knight of Cups here. There's somebody. There's an offer being. There's an offer. The cup is representing the offer to somebody. Somebody from the past that the administration knows. The Six of Cups that they know. They know well. The Queen of Cups here. Somebody that's going to be the opposite of Blanche. That's going to seem more caring. It's probably in the past was the long-term success of the administration. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel this is going to happen with the Eight of Cups. Somebody that the administration really respects. I use that lightly. Most of us probably wouldn't. I think it's a man with the King of Wands, a good communicator, somebody that Blanche isn't. The Queen of Pentacles coming from the outside, making decisions. And here's the Judgment card. Yeah, I think there's somebody else. This is another man, and that they know well. I'm thinking, and I've said this before, it might be Lee Zeldin, who's currently in the administration. That was also floated around when Bondi first left. I do think there's a possibility that, I believe he's the EPA administrator, if I am correct. But I think they're going to end up offering it to somebody else. Especially when I think Blanche is going to get in trouble a lot with these court cases. And they just want somebody else to be the figurehead and him out of the spotlight. All right. Yeah. When I was talking about this, the Nine of Swords came out. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of worry about Blanche as the time goes on. All right. Visiting again with Michigan. Now, they had their last debate. And last week when I looked at this, I've looked at this race. This is the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Michigan. You have Abdul Al-Sayed, who's a progressive. Now, a lot of people claim that he's with DSA, which is Democrat Socialists of America. He has not ever said that he is, although there are many DSA individuals and politicians who have endorsed him. And then versus Haley Stevens, who's a typical corporate Democrat. She's currently a congresswoman. So it's kind of, like I said, it was kind of up in the air. And it has been. It's been super close. So let's see if Abdul Al-Sayed will win the Democratic nomination in Michigan next Tuesday is their primary. Then we'll look at Stevens. But let's look at Al-Sayed. Okay, so we're starting out with the Wheel of Fortune. Very good right now. What's his obstacle? It's the Ace of Pentacles. I think he has one thing that I think he did that was brought up in the debate. He finally released his financials. I think he held off on that too long, and that might have an effect on some voters when I'm getting. He's with the Queen of Pentacles. It's not always when I talk about some of these cards, and even though there's a female, just so you know, gender is never an absolute when it comes to tarot. When talking about somebody, people find him very nurturing and very focused on, the day-to-day lives of paying our bills, bread and butter topics that most voters care about the most. In the past, he had the Two of Pentacles. He's been working very hard, juggling different things. He is definitely going to been attracting a lot of women voters supporting him with the Three of Cups. The High Priestess, a lot of times this can mean a hidden agenda. I don't think so when we're talking about this. I think he's very connected when you look at the Three of Cups to how to talk with women's issues and also financial issues of day-to-day life, family issues. The Sun card pops up, which is a very good sign for him. This already sounds much more clearer for him. The Knight of Cups from the outside, he's showing tangible proposals for people. The World card's in the hopes and fears, and then they're seeing victory here with the Six of Wands. I'm seeing a much clearer victory for him than I did last week when I looked at this, and for a while. I think the last debate kind of helped him. What I'm feeling is that people are getting a clearer picture of who he is and a clearer picture of Stevens. But however, I want to look at Stevens here. Haley Stevens. Let's see if she will win the nomination, Spirit. Haley Stevens. Congresswoman Haley Stevens win the Democratic nomination for Michigan for U.S. Senate come Tuesday. I just got that it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Ooh. Got the Eight of Cups. A lot of jumpers today. Eight of Cups, so she's walking away from what she's built. Not good for her. I just mixed up the cards. You saw me. What pops up? Eight of Cups. Sherry feels like she's already kind of losing. That's what I'm getting in the present moment. Ace of Cups is on the side. She's very, very emotional about this. She's very frustrated. She came in, what I'm getting, her energy, she came in as a seasoned congresswoman. She feels like she's very connected to the community, and she's very frustrated she's not getting through to people. Again, just like him, she's been juggling a lot of many different things. Here's the Death card in the past. This is definitely an ending in a new beginning for her. Right now, she's just not seeing what there's an opportunity that she could have done to be more successful. And I think she didn't take it because she felt like it was not the right direction for her. But I think it would have been the right way of doing things. Knight of Swords, she's very ambitious. She's still going to fight till the end. This is where I feel like it's going to be announcements that she's going to concede. Here's the Emperor card here. I want to say that what I'm getting, I think Republicans are trying to work against Stevens because if you looked at polls, to be honest, these polls are showing Stevens would have a better chance against Mike Rogers, who's the Republican nominee or the de facto. I think a lot of Republicans are fighting against Stevens and making sure Al Sayed wins because he has, according to polls, we're going to look here in a second, a struggle against Mike Rogers. Here's the Lover's card in the hopes and fears. She's hoping to get people from and then here's the Four of Pentacles. No, she's not. So it's much more clearer now that we're a few days away from the race where the energies lies. Like I said, I'm getting that it's going to be close. It could happen that some free will changes things, and we'll see. All right. Oops, spelled that right. Now I'm just going to use a generic whether a Democrat is going to be Mike Rogers and be sworn in as senator after the November election. So come January, or let's start my question again. Spirit. So after the November election in Michigan, will there be a Democrat that gets sworn in next year to be the new senator from Michigan? Okay, so there's an Eight of Cups here and the Knight of Pentacles. So somebody's going to be walking away and somebody's going to come out winning. And somebody who has something tangible to offer to individuals. People are actually really listening to what the politicians are saying. So there's the Tower card. There's going to be a sudden change or upheaval. I keep on getting this for many races. I'm telling you, and it's in the present moment. So there's already something after these primaries that is going to happen, and I think it's something going to come out in regards to the current administration in the White House. It's something going to be coming out that's going to affect all the races come November. So 9 of Wands, it's going to be a real struggle when whatever this news comes out, this Tower moment, and there's going to be quick movement, I think, already. Here's the endings and beginnings with the World card, the Empress right here. I want to say something's going to, I want to say this Tower card, it's not absolute that this is the only country, but Russia is really going to be involved in putting a shakeup because Russia, with Putin, he is very upset with the orange one right now. And so he's screwing things up with the election. So the Knight of Cups, somebody that's bringing in, like I said, bringing in concrete proposals about what? Financial things. 7 of Pentacles. This is where people are struggling with their financials right now. People don't know which way to go. So this is going to be another close race with the 8 of Swords. In the hopes and fears is the 10 of Wands. And yes, it is going to be a new beginning. It's someone younger. Again, if it's Abdul al-Sayed, this would mark perfectly with this. Because even the currently, but again, this is going to be close with the 7 of Wands. So it's not going to be an easy race, but it's that the Dems are going to hold on. I was going to say the current senator there, and I'm going blank with his name, but he is an older gentleman. So this would be definitely a younger person. Mike Rogers is not a young person. So, okay. So I've done this in practice, and I kind of want to do this to do this reading for everybody, is about what will happen once the Orange One leaves office. What will happen to the U.S.? And then I have another one post, the orange one too. Because it is going to come to pass. I'm sure everyone out there can feel a change. I mean, not only the changes we've been happening, but we're getting close to the end. I know it's not soon enough. I know. But I know you probably feel the same feeling I get in regards to knowing that it's coming to an end. And it's not going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, even though before the cards get dropped, it's not going to be easy. And what are we getting in regards right now? There's going to be, it's something to do with overseas with the 3 of Wands. We're going to have, there's been a lot of illusions and delusions that are being revealed in the 9 of Cups in order to bring stability back here. There's information that individuals outside the U.S. have, and they're like, we can't handle this instability anymore. We have to release information out to get the ball rolling. So let's see what happens after the orange one leaves to the U.S. Okay. A lot of reevaluation about what's been going on and what came to pass, and also trying to figure out how to go forward. And it's kind of, in a way too, because there's just going to be so much revealed, is that people don't really want to have the motivation to make the change. They're like, my gosh, do we have to? 2 of Wands is on the side. There's just going to be a lot of fear in regards to what direction to go. How do we make this right? What do we need to make changes? It's just going to be a lot, but there's still hope. That's a good thing. The Star card, trying to cover the naughty bits, okay? here's the news that's coming out. I told you it's going to come out super fast. That was in the past Eight of Wands. And of course, we're talking about the devil. Things, greed, materialistic things that went wrong. There's going to be disappointment, and there's going to be what was built. This is representing what was built in the United States, what was prior to the Orange One, and what the Orange One was trying to rebuild in its place. We're walking away from all that, because things are coming out of the surface about how, not only about what he was doing, about how things were working that we may not be aware of. The government I'm talking about. But this is a good sign, and this is the outside environment looking in. You're talking about voters, you're talking about internationally. People are going to see this as a good thing. Even though it's going to be a lot of uncertainty during this time, it's a lot of good thing. This is representing the judgment card, is the hope that this is a rebirth, a way of doing things. And it's a lot of hard work is going to be done. This is not going to be something done within a year or two. We're talking about probably over a decade, maybe even two, to work on rebuilding what was destroyed. And it's going to be a lot of hard work, but there are going to be proposals to fix it with a lot of younger people being involved. And some things are going to be done quickly with the Chariot card, and it's going to bring new stability with the King of Pentacles and the Sun card. Again, positivity and victory and justice. So a lot of things are going to be going on. Again, these were bottom of the packs, of meaning it's going to be a while till we get to those areas. The main thing is that we're going to be starting working on things. Not even within, but also internationally. A lot of ties has been severed, damaged. We're just not going to be in the same place that we were before. And you can see that as an unfortunate thing. I mean, there is going to be probably warning, not in regards to the Orange One, about how we used to be viewed and how, and you may already feel that now, used to be viewed, and how can we repair it. It's not going to be just a simple, my bad, I'm sorry, kind of thing. We won't do it again. We'll have to prove ourselves. All right. So I want to ask Spirit. I don't think anybody has done that. At least I've came across, have readers have done. What was the purpose of the Magnum for the collective? So let's see. What is the purpose of the Magnum? I mean, we can look at it like a political scientist point of view, but I want to hear from Spirit. What's the purpose of the Magnum? It's one thing to begin with is the people with the haves. We're talking about how it's been increasingly been growing, this problem. It's not about people earning money and becoming rich. It's the part of the perception and actually reality of people hoarding money there's a lack of action and manipulation with these people who have the money, right? So the people who are living contently and are manipulating things, manipulating prices, manipulating the markets to get richer. And it's also creates insecurity for a lot of us in thinking, well, I can't do anything about it. It's just going to stay the same. It won't make a difference. That's exactly what some of those individuals, and I don't want to say everybody, there are probably some that are actually doing things for the good, but for the most part, it seems like they are being manipulative towards others out there. Okay, it's trying to bring back the balance that we need with the Temperance card. In the past, we were just retreat as a collective. We felt hopeless in regards to that, and it's about temperance of giving back to the community. the community, typically, the reason why a lot of these people got rich was due to everybody else doing the work and helping their companies, their corporations, and things like that earn money. Um, like I said, with the King of Wands, there is somebody that will come out to become a natural leader, and if it wasn't for this person that will start making the changes, that will initiate the changes, would it come about? Okay, whoever that may be. Because see here, I just said that right about the MAGA movement. If this movement didn't happen, this power moment wouldn't happen and he wouldn't come forward to make these changes, okay? So the whole part of the MAGA movement and the orange one had to happen for these changes to happen. It's talking about how to, again, a lot of it has to do with financial stuff, because when we talk about other things like healthcare, education, things like that, all these are going to be connected back to money, okay? So we need to figure out how to recalibrate how the distribution of wealth comes back to the collective of the country to help with these other factors that we're suffering in this country. And in the hopes and fears, it's funny. These cards are coming. I swear to goodness, you see this on camera. I'm saying this before I even draw the cards. What in the hopes and fears about family? How do we distribute the wealth to everybody with the Ten of Pentacles? And through that, we become stronger. We become more unified with the Two of Cups. Instead of dividing us, being manipulative, like I said, with the Nine of Pentacles, eventually, when wealth gets redistributed, we'll be more unified again with the Two of Cups. Okay? So that is what Spirit is saying, why the MAGA movement happened. It was in order for us to become stronger in the end. Okay? And the thing about it, too, we all chose to come here. I know it sounds crazy sometimes because all the stuff we may have gone through or going through, but it means that we are strong, okay? That when we decided to come down here, that we know we are strong. So remind yourself that if you have a weak moment, that you are strong, okay? All right. Talk about the collective. Again, this came to me. It dropped in my hand, so I take that as a sign of Spirit wants me to use this deck, Queen of the Moon Oracle. It's very fitting because this is the full moon. Just happened. Again, reminder, general reading for the audience. I do 3 cards and then I continue on until I feel Spirit is done giving out a message to the general audience. So, Spirit, what message would be most beneficial to the general audience? What message do we have? Woo! Okay. 3. Well, that's 4 cards. Let's. Oh, well, I'll put these 3 are first. So, okay. First, we need to have focus. How can we have focus? Is surrendering to Spirit, surrendering our pain to Spirit, and taking action. How do we do this? It's by satisfying the hunger and what I'm saying, the hunger of we're hungry for power of change. Okay. And we also have to remember through this that we to look, and I've said this before because this popped up before. Spirit reminds us to look at the beauty of life, because there are always, despite how it may feel right now, there's always going to be bad things that happen in this world. Even once we get through this and rebuild and stuff like that, we're not going to live in a perfect world. This is not heaven. So we have to look for the beauty in things, in people, in places, and within yourself. Okay. Under the hunger card, this is how we help nourish ourselves, okay? making sure that we release things to spirit, to the universe, have our power, looking at the beauty, nourishing ourselves, having the will, what I talked about, again, that spirit is reminding you that you are strong as well, okay? And to have gratitude. Gratitude is so, so important. If you ever watched Lori from The Positive Way of, The Way of Positive Change, sorry, she recommended the book from the Secret series called Magic, and there was a gratitude exercise in there. I just did it, and it's so powerful about reminding you to be holding gratitude every day. Even on things that you may be struggling with, like bills and things like that. When you pay a bill, like be grateful. Remind to be grateful to yourself about being able to pay a bill, okay? Or negotiate a payment system to pay a bill. Things like that. Things you may view as a negative, but there is gratitude in even negative things, okay? Again, what did I say earlier about releasing to the universe? We are going through a change, okay? It may feel like a winter right now, but eventually we're all going to blossom into something new and we'll be out of this void, okay? Here we go. Here's the new beginnings that will happen, and we're going to be creating something new through wisdom that we've learned going through this. Okay, and that's where I'm going to stop right now. I feel that's a good message from Spirit about what we need to do and what we need to remember throughout this. So again, thank you for joining me today. Hit that subscribe button, like, hype, and comment below. Until next time, bye-bye.